How's everyone doing? Welcome to the Fudge Effect. I am your host, Mario Malave. I appreciate everyone that's supporting me so far. I appreciate everyone that's been subscribing to the YouTube channel. If you are new here, you're returning, please make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Please, please, please leave a like if you are watching on YouTube. If you have anyone that you think is interested in just listening to a 21-year-old speak, just in general on a platform like this, just talking in general, talking to people, talking to you about life, or whatever pertains to, the stuff I put out there, please, I appreciate it. If you spread the word, it's only up from here. I hope everyone's having a great February so far. So far, it is the 23rd. It feels like time's flying. And let's get it going, man. Also, please be sure to follow me on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And yeah, this has been surreal so far. It's been one hell of a journey. I have people, whether it's at school, whether it's just hitting me up in general, telling me about how, whether it's proud, happy they are, how cool it is. Man, I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. And I hope that you all do the same and find whatever it is that you care about or want to do, or just in general, find interesting and you want to research and get into that. Whatever it is, do what you love, do what interests you. Don't be afraid, have some humility, and go from there. But with that said, we lost the Super Bowl, and I know it's been a really somber past, what has it been now, 10 days? 10 days, yep. It's been about 10 days. It still doesn't feel real, if I'm being honest with you guys. I feel like I've always been a part of this team. I feel like I have like a soul bond with this team. I genuinely, the way I feel is a reflection off of how well the Bengals are playing. That is like my number one favorite thing in the world. If you were to be my wife or girlfriend, like, you have to know. You have to know some of the players. You gotta know that. You gotta be a part of the team, honestly. You won't catch me with no Steelers fan. Alright, maybe. No, I'm just I'm just kidding. We'll see how that pans out in the long run. But yeah, man, we lost, and I'll tell you, it was bittersweet. It was great having everyone texting me, showing the support, showing that they're team Bengals on Sunday, man. But let me tell you, the Rams, I'm not surprised they won. They were built to win. They got the greatest corner in the game, the greatest defensive lineman, arguably, if not ever. They got a former Super Bowl MVP and one of the greatest edge rushers ever. They have a stud defensive line in general. They have a decent linebacking core, but a great secondary. And then their offense is explosive, and it's good. And the Bengals did what they could. They stopped the run. They forced the turnovers. But at the end of the day, talent and defense ended up winning them the game, man. Hey, hats off to the Rams. I had some free money that I won from a bet a while ago in the game. I could have won a lot of money. Unfortunately, I didn't. I had a feeling that I had a feeling that the game was going to leave me in either disappointment or just the game was going to be. It was a good game. But I watch other shows like Euphoria and Attack on Titan on Sundays as well. Tremendous shows. Tremendous shows, by the way. And the Attack on Titan, I saw the Attack on Titan episode before the game, and it just left me thinking, man, that episode was kind of lame. Now I got to wait another week. And then right then and there, man, I had a weird feeling. But it's been a somber 10 days, man. I just don't know what to feel. I'm happy they made it. I'm sad they lost. If I'm being honest, if you knew me in 2015, easily one of the saddest days of my life was in January when we played the Pittsburgh Steelers in a playoff game. And we pretty much had the game in our hands. The game was over. We won. And all we had to do was just run the clock out. And our running back fumbled the ball. We gave the ball back to them. A lot of controversial stuff happened. Dirty plays, quote-unquote, happened and stuff like that. And we ended up blowing the game. And that sucked. That game ripped my heart out. This game, we ended up blowing the lead. We had a chance to go down and score. It is what it is. sucks. We'll build the offensive line. We'll go from there. We'll be a fun team to watch as long as number 9 is our quarterback. And yeah, that's all I got to say about that. I'm sorry if you're not into football. I just wanted to address that because I'm just such a diehard Bengals fan. But with that said, yeah, this year has been, it's been good. It's been good to me, other than that loss. But I guess with every loss comes a gain and a win, I guess you could say. But yeah, so far, we're in the thick of it in February. It's almost March. And if you're watching and you see where I'm pointing at my wife, Dua Lipa. That's right. Me and Gavin, who you can catch that episode somewhere down below. I believe it was my second or third episode that I've ever made. Me and one of my best friends, Gavin, man, we planned the trip to go to Boston to go see a Dua Lipa concert. We were originally gonna go see The Weeknd in 2020, and whatever his name is, Abel Tesfaye, he was going to originally go through with the concert, and then the pandemic just became much worse and worse, and everyone became even more paranoid, and so he put it off till 21, and then he put it off till, well, we don't know when. And we got our refunds. Me and Gavin already bought tickets at the time. We got our refunds, and we said, you know what? Dua's going on tour. Let's go to Boston. Screw New York. I fucking hate New York. I do. I really do. And it's too busy, too smelly, too dirty. Nothing like the movies. I will never stop saying that. Anyways, so yeah, we planned a trip to go to Boston, and I'm gonna. all right. I'm gonna tell you guys my experience. Just let me let me put this together chronologically for you guys. So, for those that want to know why it is that I have, whether it's Ariana Grande, if you're watching, you can see some of the stuff I have in my room. Why it is I have a Dua Lipa poster and vinyl, Ariana Grande. I've said this before. I'll say this many times. Look, I don't care what gender you are. I don't care what sexuality, however you want to say it, pronounce it, categorize it. I don't know. Respectfully, I don't care. I will say, if you could sing, you just put out positive vibes, man, I'll fuck with you, man. It's cool. It's cool. I respect it. And I love me some great women talent: Beyonce, Rihanna, Ariana Grande, Dua Lipa. Love them all. Love artists like that. And so I remember in 2019, actually I lied. Early 2020, before COVID hit, I was listening to some Dua Lipa, her very first album, because I was like, you know what? I know this chick, and Don't Start Now was popping at the time, and I was thinking to myself, dang, this song is so great, and it's honestly one of my favorite songs, probably technically 2010 to 2020, one of my favorite songs of the decade, I guess you could say, for sure. I was listening to it all the time. It was my most played song in 2019, the 2019-2020 year, I believe, and it was just a tremendous song. And I remember going and looking at her discography, which is pretty much all the albums she's released or songs since the beginning. And I went on this little binge, and I ended up listening to her very first album. I believe it's a self-titled album. I think the album itself is called Dua Lipa, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Whatever. Anyways, I went on this binge just listening to all those songs. I was like, you know what? I owe this artist the respect because she has these great songs. New Rules, No Lie, Don't Start Now. And she was on the come up. She was, One Kiss was already out. Electricity, those songs were fire. Anyways, I was on this binge, and then all of a sudden I discovered she was releasing an upcoming album called Future Nostalgia. And I'm already in the hype of this. Like, oh my God, she's releasing an album. This is going to be sick. And COVID hit, and her album came out soon after COVID hit. And I think she even released it saying, like, hey, this is for all you guys, at the house, like in your homes, stuck inside, you want something to listen to, and stuff like that. And it was just great timing, honestly. And I remember at the time I was a little afraid, even since high school, just my whole life. Sometimes I'm afraid to raise my hand in class, lots of times. I love to talk. I love to share my thoughts and opinions with people that I know and I'm comfortable with. But when it comes to class, man, I don't know what it is. I just don't like raising my hand that often, whether it's just in case I'm wrong, whether it's fear of embarrassment, I'm still going through that. I'm good with this. I'm good with around people I know and I'm comfortable with. I'm good and big. Like if I was still playing football, like I could talk in front of my whole team, no problem. But I don't know. When it comes to the classroom, it's a little bit different. And I remember I was a little afraid to post her on my story, like her announcing the album was out, because I was afraid that people would think, oh, Mario listens to girls. Like, what the is he fruity? What the hell's wrong with him? I'm not, like, that's just me being honest. And I ended up. That was when I believe I first started turning off my comments. I turned off my comments on my story. If you have Instagram, you know what I'm talking about. You could turn off your comments, and honestly, with that, for me mentally, it's created so much freedom. Along with, I don't care how many likes I get on my posts, but what I do is not just for me, but for you guys. If you follow me, I hide my likes to show that it shouldn't matter what you post about. For all you know, I could be getting 5 likes, 500 likes, 600 likes. You don't know. And that's for me to know and for you to not know. Because you shouldn't care what you post. You should be comfortable and happy with what you share and post with the world. You know, it's your life. You only get one. Don't be afraid to post whatever it is. And I'm still struggling with it. These are the right words to say, not just to myself, but to you. And you know what? You got to fake it till you make it. If that makes sense. You got to go through that whole cycle and stage of whether it's life, like those stages of life in terms of having to buy into certain mindsets, into certain states of mind, certain beliefs, whatever it is. And I ended up posting about it. Nobody said nothing, and it was like ripping off a Band-Aid. You know, it's not that bad. It really wasn't. And yeah, I was bopping to that album, and this is going to sound like a crazy number. I was in the 0.1%, it was like 0.01 or 0.1%, I think it was 0.01 of listeners. Not 1%, 0.1 or like 0.01. That is like the ultimate percentile percentage. That's like I'm practically listening to her music while she's making it in her booth or in the studio. That's how much I was listening to her. And it was crazy to see that number, and I was just a huge fan. And it's crazy because in 2021, in the summertime, was when all of her other music, like Levitating, when the Baby remixed with her, and all that. That's when all that came out, and it was popping. And so I was already on the wave, and people are asking me, Mario, have you heard this song? Do you know this song? And I'm just telling them, yeah, I know. I already know. And so I had to go to this concert. I had to go see her. And my God, it was tremendous. So let's get into this little Boston story. So the week, if my mother's listening, I don't know if she is or not. And if you do know my mother, don't tell her. The whole week leading up to it, man, I was staying up late. Probably doesn't surprise her. And I was just not getting much sleep. I've been watching Friday Night Lights. It's such a tremendous show. Such a great show. And I wasn't getting much sleep. I just wasn't. I was getting a little lazy. I mean, my homework, I grades and homework, all that's fine. But man, oh man, I was getting lazy in terms of being disciplined when it comes to sleep. And me and my boys, man, Big Red, my brother, all my friends, Abel, who you guys know because he helps me out, we were all playing this game called Gang Beasts, and it is hilarious. If you got PlayStation, I think it's also on Xbox, PC, whatever. It is such a funny game. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. It's called Gang Beasts. And you're playing as these, like, Play-Doh, like, people, and you get to create your own costume, and you just pretty much fight and punch, and it's so stupid and funny, and you could throw each other off the stage, and when you have, like, 8+ people, it just becomes this funny-ass battle royale, and we're all just such great personalities, funny personalities, and it's so great, it's so funny, and we were playing that, and I stayed up till, like, I want to say 3 a.m., and Gavin was telling me, I'm going to pick you up at 8, we're going to go there early, and I'm telling Gavin, I'm saying, my mom is saying that the wind is going to be pretty rough, pretty heavy, it's going to be pretty cold, and Gavin's like, nah, don't worry about it, we'll be fine, and And you know what? I was just like, he's okay. He seems very confident. And I still bundled up. I mean, I wore a hoodie similar to this. And I brought some sweatpants. Originally, I went there in shorts, but I'll get to that. So my mom's telling me there's going to be heavy winds. And I believed her. I just didn't know how necessarily to prepare for that correctly, I guess. And me and Gavin I end up waking up at like 7 after. I end up waking up at 6:30 after going to sleep. So it's like a 3-hour, 30, different time, like time asleep or whatever, quote unquote. And then I remember just waking up and passing out. And I just randomly woke up at 7:40. I totally forgot to set my alarm to a text that said, I'll be leaving soon to come get you. And I was like, okay. It was just completely random. I could have totally missed it. I could have totally slept in, whatever. And I ended up showering. I throw some random shirts and shorts and whatever into this bag, charger, AirPods, whatever it was. And I was just waiting for him. He comes and gets me. I'm tired. And we end up just taking off, and we go to Boston. And it was an interesting drive. It was a long drive. It was my first time going. I didn't know what to think. It just didn't seem real. The fact that we're going to see my wife. Nah, I always say that. Obviously, she's not. I mean, to me, she is. You know what I mean? Nah. But we're going to see Dua Lipa, and it was just unreal, surreal to just think about that. And we're on our way. We get there, and we're originally supposed to park somewhere near TD Garden, and he's saying, no, let's park here. The GPS messes us up, so we park to a certain place. So we get to this really suspect parking garage, and we just get in there. We park. Well, it wasn't suspect, but I never really go to the city, so anything's suspect to me. And it was right next to this pizza restaurant, and so let's just say me and Gavin were feeling pretty good that day. Let's just say that, all right? And we're in this garage, man. We're feeling good. We're feeling light. And all of a sudden, we decide to just go for a walk. And we were walking, and we walk into this, how do I say this? We walk into the main, so the parking garage was attached to this big building. And we walk into just this building, and it's literally like a dream. It's all white, futuristic looking walls, and you got Gucci and Balenciaga, if that's correct or whatever. And you got the greatest, most expensive brand clothing stores all lined up in a straight row, up top and above. They had a Tommy Bahama's clothing store. It was just the most expensive stuff in the world. And me and Gavin are just looking around, and we're like, wow. It just seemed unreal. It was just such a big, crazy looking atmosphere and environment, and we were just so overwhelmed. It was just unreal. It was like we were in a freaking dream or a simulation or something. We're just going, whoa. And then we ended up leaving and taking this bridge, and we walked to this other building, and then we left, and we're just thinking to ourselves, okay, it's about 10 something, 11 something, let's walk. And we end up going to this place called Tasty Burger. It was just right across the street. It was convenient from where we were. We were already walking and decently far away from the building, and we end up going to this place called Tasty Burger. We sit down, we order some food, we watch the Olympics and PSG with Mbappe. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a soccer team, really famous club team with Mbappe, Lionel Messi. Everyone knows who Messi is, and Neymar was hurt, but still, we're watching that game of the Olympics. We're chilling, we're having a great time. We had a show. I'm not gonna lie, man. Boston's pretty serious with these COVID regulations. Every building you go to, at least the restaurants, we had to show identification of, just proof of vaccination. Yeah, that's it. We had to show that we've been vaccinated, have at least any proof. When we were on the way there, Gavin was freaking out because holy shit, I forgot my vax card at home. But he's like, I got a picture, and we sorted that out, and everything was okay with that. And then, so like I said, we're eating there. We had to show our vax cards or whatever, and we're just eating there. We're chilling, and We're just sitting at this bar, trying to kill time, relaxing. And then we just start walking. And Gavin's asking me to take his picture left and right. I don't blame him. I would want pictures too. Me, I really do enjoy taking pictures, particularly when I'm alone. But I do enjoy taking pictures of other people, like friends of mine. Like I enjoy like gassing them up, like taking the best possible angle. I'd like to say I'm a pretty good photographer with a phone at least. Lord knows what I could do with a camera, but I'm pretty good with a phone in terms of like editing, like lighting, just basic stuff. Nothing like too crazy. I'm taking a Photoshop class right now, so maybe. But still, I was taking his photos, I was taking videos, I was landmarking stuff, and we were just walking. And he set a point until we walked to Quincy Market, and it was like a 40-minute walk. But I cannot stress to you how freaking cold it was. It was so cold, and it was windy. And we're just toughing out. We're walking to this place called Quincy Market, which I didn't even realize I went there in 8th grade or middle school. I totally remembered once I got there. But we're just walking and taking pictures and just talking and walking and hitting every freaking crosswalk sign or like button to get across. And oh my God, so many different types of people. So many different things. That's crazy. They got freaking bikes you can rent and drive across the city and back. Like park it at a different station, which was a very cool thing. We thought about it, but we didn't. We didn't want to mess around with that. God forbid we messed up or did something wrong, or took the bikes out for too long. I don't know. Whatever. And we're walking, and oh my God, when I tell you guys, I was scared as shit. Kevin goes, dude, do you see that? And I just see a fucking thing or a person. All due respect. Look, all due respect in the world. Like I said, I don't care what your preferences are, but this shit scared me. I saw somebody with a fucking animal tail coming out their ass or like their pants area, and they had a whole like mascot head on, and then like some bear paws, and it was a furry. It was a furry, and it was so scary. God, it was so scary. I was so fucking scared, and I'm telling Gavin, dude, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? I'm freaking out, dude. I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, I don't care what your preferences are, but it was the first time I've seen one in person. And it was so scary. Like, man, I'm not going to lie. I've seen a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's, if you guys know what that is. The whole animatronic, scary game. And it's a really interesting plot and story. And I've seen all those things. And it was like, you ever go to Chuck E. Cheese and you see the animatronics performing on stage or whatever? It felt like seeing one of those things in person. But it was like half human, half of that. And it was scary as shit. And they're just walking around, and they started like one of them started running, and they were running. If you're looking at me on YouTube, like they were running with their hands out like this, like they were freaking like kangaroo or something. And I was just scary as fuck. And I'm just like, dude, what the hell? What the hell is that? And I'm not gonna lie, I took a picture of it because it was just so surreal. I had to show people that I wasn't crazy. And we're walking or whatever, and it's cold. We end up somehow getting to this other market. Gavin thought it was Quincy Market. I'm just going along with it. We're walking around, seeing certain clothes in certain places and certain stores, and we end up just checking out this like GameStop, these other stores or whatever. And like, all of a sudden, Gavin was like, "Oh shit, this isn't even Quincy Market. It's this way." So we just ended up walking from whatever plaza we were in to just all the way to Quincy Market. It was this crazy 40-minute walk. And we walked there. I took a picture with a freaking dinosaur, which is pretty dope. We just walked around. We walked through an Abercrombie. As soon as we got there, we didn't really do much. And Gavin just kept telling me, "Man, I'm sorry, man. Like, I thought we would have done more shopping and stuff." And look, I love Gavin with all my heart, and I literally just talked to him today. But I was telling him, I was saying, or I was talking to him today, and I love him to death. Like, I love him, but in that moment, I was so fucking cold, and I was just so fed up. I'm tired. I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours, maybe 5. Nah, definitely not 5. I mean, I tried to take a nap in the car, and I was just so tired, along with being cold. And look, I'm gonna be honest, I'm lazy as shit, and I'm just walking through Boston. I'm walking through this city, and I'm never in the city. I'm in the suburbs. That's where I live. I live in a nice environment, a nice, calm, peaceful environment. So it's overwhelming. I'm tired. I'm cold, and I'm just thinking to myself, "Oh Lord, man, if we don't get back, If we don't get back, Gavin, I'm going to be so fucking mad. And we end up getting to Quincy Market, like I said, we do whatever, and then we had to walk all the way back. And because we took so many pictures and videos, we were honestly, didn't even really do the GPS. We just kind of landmarked things, and we got all the way back to where we parked. And before we got back to the car, we ended up, because like I said, we didn't park anywhere near TD Garden. That's what the concert was. Driving distance, TD Garden was like 16, 15 minutes away, not even. Walking was like 40-something. And let me get to that. So we go all the way, we stop at some like, one of those food court areas, and we got some food. We got Philly cheesesteaks. It was nice. And so we had Tasty Burger. We got some Philly cheesesteaks at this food court. I'm not gonna lie though, Boston much cleaner. I will say, if it wasn't so cold and I wasn't so tired, I definitely would have enjoyed it way more. But it was a cool place, I will say. And so yeah, we're walking all the way back. And as we're walking back, around the same point in which we were walking to Quincy Market or whatever, I saw another furry. I saw another one. And I remember telling Gavin, dude, there's a furry walking right towards us. Try not to move. I said, try not to move. And Gavin's like, he's not moving and I'm not moving. It was scary because it's another person that fucking looked like Alvin and the Chipmunks walking towards us. And I didn't know what to do. It looked scary as hell. I'm sorry. Look, I don't know what I would do if my kid wanted to be there as a parent. Maybe I'd slap the furry out of him. I don't know. I don't know what you do in that situation. Maybe I sound like a complete asshole right now. I don't know. But for like, what do you do in that situation? I don't know. And it was just so weird. And they're wearing like the freaking like a animal mask, and they had those beady eyes, like the giant, glossy, thick beady eyes, like from an animatronic. It's like, dude, what the fuck is that? And we end up that they end up passing by. Thank God. It was like Price in Call of Duty was like let them pass. So, we end up going all the way back to the car. We chill out. We just listen to music, charge our phones, do whatever we gotta do. We take a nap, and then it was time. The concert was at 7:30. That's when it started, and it was about 5:50. And so, Gavin's like, yeah, we gotta walk. And Gavin's like, oh, it's like a 16-minute walk. That's what he tells me. But as we're walking all the way back to the car from Quincy Market to begin with, 40-minute walk there, 40 back. Honestly, it was probably like 50 to an hour because we kind of did slow down a little bit, whatever. And don't even let me get started on how many minutes we walked total or how many miles we walked total. So, Gavin all of a sudden, he tells me 16-minute walk, and all of a sudden, he's like, oh, my bad, it's like 50-minute walk. So we get dressed, and we're like, oh, we'll still make it in time. And it's nighttime, and it's the city. And I swear, Gavin was telling me the whole week, we're going to scour the streets of Boston. And I'm thinking, what the hell does scour mean? I try and keep up with my vocab and pay attention to that, but I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is scouring the streets? And let me tell you something. I think we did scour the streets. I think we walked everywhere you needed to walk in Boston and back. To the moon, to Jupiter, Mars, and in between and back. We walked everywhere. We walked so much. It was ridiculous. And this is anything against him. It was just a crazy experience. And we end up walking, and it's okay, and it's nighttime, it's cold as shit. And it's like everyone else in Boston seems like they know what the hell they're doing. And then there's just us two dumbasses, and we're just walking in Boston, and it's night, like I said, it's cold, 50-minute walk, and we're just walking, and then Gavin's like, oh, we gotta go across this street, we gotta go all over here, and then we crossed through this freaking park at night, next to a lake, and crossed all the way across this freaking park, and then we went through, it was like San Francisco, this little San Francisco area in Boston with these apartments, and we walked all the way down this hill, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, if we have to walk back, I'm not gonna survive. Because it was such a steep hill, but walking down is easy. We walked, and it was a really long day, and I'm telling him, like, dude, we need to get an Uber back. I don't know why we didn't take an Uber there to begin with. I don't know why we didn't take an Uber everywhere around Boston. But you know what? That's what's fun when you don't plan, I guess. It makes this fun story to tell. Because there's so many people, I bet, where they go to Boston. If they're going to TD Garden, they park in a building right next to TD Garden. They chill out in that area, and that's that. But man, we walked everywhere, and we were adventuring, and we get all the way to, what is it? Not TD Garden. Yeah. Let's just say we got all the way to TD Garden. We see a bunch of people lined up. You know, as soon as you see the people saying, "Hey, you want a shirt? You want a shirt? You know, $20, whatever." That's when you know you're very close. And we saw a line. We got in the line, and we ended up getting in. And that was that. And we ended up getting to the Garden. It was unreal. We made it to the Garden. My first time at TD Garden, and our seats were tremendous. You can see my view and some of the pictures I took on my Instagram, MarioMalave _ on Instagram. And you can see the pictures and videos I took. There's so much more. And it was such a great atmosphere. Everyone there was great. But, man, there were some, I'm going to say this respectfully, there were some annoying-ass people. They were all women. But they were drunk, and they were mean, and they kept fucking touching us, like say, hey, like, party people. That's what they kept, party people. That's what they kept saying. And they're like touching my shoulder, like, hey, you ready for the concert? I'm like, yeah. And then thank God there was these COVID paranoid maniacs next to them, and they were just so annoyed with them. And one of the people who was drunk kept touching those people, and they were just fed up. So they ended up getting security, and those ladies ended up getting thrown out after like the first or second Dua Lipa song, which is great. Anyways, we're there. I was thinking about getting a shirt, but oh my god, it's so expensive. So expensive, concert merchandise and all that. So, like I said, we're in the Garden. View's tremendous. I can see all the numbers, jerseys retired, and all the championship banners for the Celtics championship banners, and it was just great. And the crowd seemed great. Everyone's taking pictures. Everyone's letting loose. They're playing like old school freestyle music. I can picture it in my head now. They're playing like Whitney Houston and the Cher. You got the older folks know who Cher is, Sonny and Cher. They're playing like Cher pop music and stuff, and they're playing other great music. And, you know, me and him were just finally glad to be alive and make it. And he even agreed. He was like, yeah, we're getting an Uber. We're getting an Uber after this. So I was like, cool. And we were just having a great time. And then I thought she was only going to have one opener. Now, honestly, maybe not even any openers. Dua had a couple openers. The concert didn't truly start until like 9. Or I'd say like 8:30. Yeah, 8:30-ish, 9-ish. And all of a sudden, after these two openers, who were tremendous, by the way, one of them was named Lola or Lolo Zui or Zuia, and the other one was like Caroline Pavchek. I don't know. You guys can look it up. But they were both tremendous. I ended up following the both of them on like Spotify. Added a couple of their songs. They were really good hidden talents that Dua brought along for the tour. And as soon as it starts, I go nuts. The crowd erupts. I've never been around anything like this. The crowd was erupting. It was like an earthquake was about to happen. Everyone was shaking, and everyone was loud and proud, and everyone was so happy, and it was so great, and everything was just, man, in that moment. And then all of a sudden, all you hear is the beat to Physical, and you see all the dancers, and there's a music video showing. Like it's an old school retro workout video, and it's showing I'm James, like I'm the stretcher, I'm the yoga person, and like they're showing all these people in this little music video. They're not saying nothing, but like they're doing these poses and stuff. And then all of a sudden, the song starts, and then all of a sudden you just see Dua in this beautiful like neon green, yellowish outfit come out, and the concert just took off from there, and it was unreal to see her. Honestly, as great as our view was, she was still decently far away. So we couldn't necessarily... It still didn't feel real. She was there, but she wasn't. You know what I mean? We were so far away where you know the thing is there. But when someone is that popular and all you know is like you just see them on your phone all the time or on TV, like it just doesn't feel real. And so it was just great. The atmosphere was great. I had a crazy headache. I didn't drink or nothing. I just had a crazy headache because I was dehydrated from walking all day. And my head is pounding, but I'm just toughing through it, and I had a great time. It was a great experience, and it made it even better when those women got thrown out because they were awful. Little tight because it was sold out, It was a little tight, in our row, but we were all dancing. We were all having a great time. Jewel was able to freaking capture the manipulate the audience, and one of her, and she even said, if you guys know this song, you've been with me since the beginning, sing along. And she sang this song called "Be the One," and it's one of her first songs she's ever made, if not the first. And she's singing, and I'm singing along to the whole thing. And then she's doing this thing where she says, I want you guys to say it, and then I want you guys to say it, and I want you guys to say it in, the middle of the song. And, she's pointing at one side of the crowd, and she's saying, I can be the one. And then she's pointing, every crowd is saying, I can be the one, I can be the one, I can be the one. Every part of, so there's the straight crowd, the right crowd, the left crowd, in terms of, directions. And she's just doing it over and over and over. And then I knew she was building it up to, the "Will you be my," because that's what she does in the song. And she did. She, the crowd was totally bought in. And she had everyone, at once say it. And it was just tremendous. And her accent was beautiful as always. She was saying, "Boston never had a crowd like you before." And stuff like that. It was tremendous. She is so beautiful, man. That's my wife. I love her. And it was just unreal. The music, the lights, the atmosphere, everyone was just so lovable and so happy. And it was a tremendous concert, I will say. Everything prior was just tiring and cold. And then we ended up leaving, and we go to a nearby Dunkin'. I never ordered an Uber before, whatever. We get this Uber, and I'm on the phone. The guy calls me. He's like, "Where are you?" He was this Middle Eastern guy. And he's saying, "Where are you? Where are you?" And I'm saying, "I'm over here." And he's like, "Oh, no, come here. I'm like, "Where's here?" And we're trying to figure that out for 10 minutes. And he ends up picking us up. And he was wearing a handkerchief for a mask. Like he was in this, the Midwest, like a cowboy. And he was pretty much, man, he was an aggressive-ass driver, dude. We thought we were going to die. I was already dizzy and had a headache, and he's freaking trying to get in between certain lanes and mess up with certain cars. Man, we thought we were going to die, but apparently he had a 5-star rating, and he got us to where we needed to go. And so he was cool for that. I appreciate that guy. And we ended up getting in the car, and oh my God, I'm like, finally we get to go home. Finally. And I'm just so tired and exhausted. And then all of a sudden, the GPS is telling us to go one way. And oh my God, I never thought we were going to escape. Because the GPS is telling one thing, and Gavin's freaking, Gavin's GPS is just bugging out, and it was telling us to go here, but apparently there was a road closed, a detour, and we just kept going in a square, 3 or 4 times, a giant square, and we just kept getting rerouted, in an endless cycle or loop, and it was so freaking annoying, and I was so fed. I'm like, "Turn off your GPS, let me see my GPS," and I'm like, "It's telling us to go here," and then all of a sudden, Gavin, all he needed to take was this one right, and we would have been home free, and he ends up going straight, and it took us in another loop, and I'm just freaking out, "Oh my God, we're never gonna get out of here," and I'm just freaking out, and I'm just so miserable. I'm ready to cry. I'm ready to give up. We're never going to escape Boston. And I had work in the morning. At that point, it was 12. We were going to get home at 2. And I had work at 9. And so, oh my God, it was just crazy. And eventually we got out, and I'm not going to lie, we were both so tired, and I was forcing myself to stay awake, and I trusted him with my life. And man, I thought he was going to fall. He never did. He was a great driver, but I thought he was going to fall asleep at the wheel because we were both really tired. And my mind was I have to stay awake, God forbid something happens. And I was in that phase where I'm just blinking in and out, and I'm trying to stay awake. I'm splashing water on my face. And yeah, we ended up getting home. He drops me off, and then the next day we're just talking about it. He has this picture of me where I look absolutely miserable that sums up my day in Boston before the concert. And he keeps showing, family and friends, and he keeps sending it to me, reminding me about it. Because, I mean, I guess it is kind of funny because I really was fed up. But, my God, guys, if you've never been to a concert or you've never experienced it, man, under the right circumstances, it's a great story to tell. It's a great environment. It's something that you remember forever. God forbid I ever go to another Dua Lipa concert, whatever, man. That's something I get to say I've gone to, and I get to keep with me forever, I guess. So I guess that's a highlight of February, even though we ended up losing the Super Bowl, which sucks. And it could have ended up being one of the best years of weeks of my life in general, because Bengals win, and then a Dua Lipa concert, like that would have been perfect. But you know what? I guess not everyone gets a happy ending, at least in the beginning. I don't know. We'll see. But like I said, you ever been to a concert and you're just curious, you should just find the right group of people, find the right setting, and make sure you plan in advance. I'm not going to lie, our planning was shit, but we got it done. We got the job done, and it's a funny story to tell. Great, crazy story that we get to share, like I said, for the rest of our lives. As I've always said this, I always stand by this, man. I got love for everybody. I got love for my friends, family, people that I don't even know, man. This has been great, man. Doing this podcast has been great. Like I said, I know I've been on break for a little bit. I just needed some time to decompress, just to clear my mind, get in the right, mind space or whatever. But I got plenty more guests coming in the future. I'm still learning how to, whether it's edit, still learning how to. I'm going to be starting Zoom soon, so we don't necessarily need to meet here in person in the Fudge Cave. But I will say, this is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. Like I said, tell your friends, tell your family, tell whoever. Maybe I should end up posting these kind of episodes where it's just me. I don't post about them because, these are kind of hidden gems where I'm just talking to you. And if you enjoy this, or you like this more than the guest stuff, hey, that's cool too. Whatever your preference is. But I appreciate the support from you guys. Like I said, if you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe. Tell everyone and your freaking barber about me and about this. And let's grow. Because when I grow, we're growing together. You guys are the reason why this is getting attention. This is going up and up and up. But I'm seeing these views on the channel, but I'm not seeing the likes and the subscriptions. I have some videos that have exceeded over like 200, but I still think like 50 something subscribers. So let's keep growing, guys. Let's get up there. Let's keep building, and as we build, I will develop and get better as we go. But with that said, man, I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. I hope this story was very entertaining to you. Look, if you're from the suburbs, quiet areas, man, be ready for the city. It's something you'll never get used to, honestly. I don't know how people call those places home, because the suburbs, this is home to me. This room I'm in, this is home to me, guys. So, with that said, I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday. Just a wonderful week, wonderful month. Whenever I see you guys again, and whenever I post another episode, my kind heart is with you all. Ciao for now. Oh, and another thing. It was 11 miles. 11 miles. Imagine.